The Witching Hour, a channel for video essays about classic horror movies on the new Rockstars network.
To introduce you to our hosts and our horror tastes.
Here's a Q&A where you can ask the Coven.
Number one, okay, not in any particular order, but one definitely has to be Scream, because Scream is one of my favorite scary teen movies of all time. I watch it every day. The other one definitely has to be Trick or Treat. I love Trick or Treat. I watch Trick or Treat every Halloween. Freddy vs. Jason definitely has to be 3. I love Freddy vs. Jason. I saw it in 3rd grade, and I think I saw that, and then I went right into the Scooby-Doo movie with my cousin. Number 4, not a scary movie at all, just a Halloween-y movie, Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. Easy.
Ooh, top 4. Let's see. Definitely The Shining, The Exorcist, Poltergeist, and The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
I'm going Trick or Treat. I'm going Cabin in the Woods. I'm also going Shaun of the Dead. Can we consider that a horror movie? I'm also going Exorcist.
Horror movie director, I love anything Wes Craven does, but I'll go with Mike Flanagan just because Midnight Mass as a whole destroyed me in the best way possible. And I love Hush. Oh my God, Hush.
Favorite horror movie director's gotta be John Carpenter. I mean, the guy did Halloween and The Thing, and like a ton of other really creepy, great horror movies. I mean, there have been other great directors do horror, but I think he's the king of horror.
I'm going old school. I'm going the king of horror. I'm going Wes Craven. I think no one has been more influential in the horror space than he has. If we're talking present day, I'm giving a shout out to Mike Flanagan.
What I like best about horror movies, I just like being scared. I just like being scared. And in the real world, I'm scared every day. So maybe sometimes going into like a fantastic, very fictional world is a lot easier for me to be scared and find fun. You know, except for today where a lot of modern horror movies are taking satirical approaches to what we're dealing with every day. That is less scary. But I just like scaring the shit out of myself.
So I think what I like best about horror movies is when they can kind of transcend the screen and have like a physical effect on the viewer in ways other genres don't. Like when you see a great horror movie that really gets you, it like follows you home. And not all movies do that. And it follows you home and like curses you in a way. So I think horror are the only type of movies that themselves can feel cursed. Like they're the only genre where directors can get away with doing some real like, what the fuck was that? Whether it's like extremely violent or just very confusing. And that's part of like the magic of horror movies, just to feel like a nightmare that just follows you around all day. You know, if I'm gonna be investigating horror movies, that's what I wanna dig into.
Ooh, I love being scared in a safe environment. I just like, I think we get so few thrills in life as adults, and horror movies are like the easiest way to get a cheap thrill.
It has to be feminist horror. I love any time we structure the movie around a woman, but especially just like the anxieties and fears we have, and in different depictions, because it's universal feminist horror, but it's different for different people.
I really love sci-fi horror, and I love like supernatural, whether it's ghosts or spirits or demons. I like horror movies where Satan exists in the world.
Favorite subgenre of horror cinema, I'm going like campy slasher flick. Really popular in the 80s, not surprisingly, that's what I like.
I don't know if you call it the best jump scare. It's the one that pisses me off the most. In The Haunting of Hill House, there's the car scene. I know what you guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. I hate it, but it's so good.
It's gotta be James Wan's shot right behind Patrick Wilson in Insidious. I mean, it's a perfect jump scare because the movie has trained you to be afraid, to know when to be afraid. And that just happens in broad daylight. And once that happens, it breaks any sense of safety we have in the movie, and we're on edge for the rest of the movie. It's just so effective. It fucked me up. I still are freaked out and traumatized by that shot.
Favorite jump scare from a movie, I'm going the very end of the first Friday the 13th, when like Jason as a young boy comes up and grabs the girl in the boat, because you think it's over by that point, but it ain't over.
My favorite scary scene from a movie that's not supposed to be scary, probably all the dead rats in Ratatouille. Imagine if it was a bunch of humans. That's what it was for him. He's a rat.
So many childhood memories of like haunting scenes. I'm gonna have to go with The Wizard of Oz, the scene where the Wicked Witch of the West shows up in the crystal ball when Dorothy's crying for Annie M. Like, that freaked me out. It's like, just let Dorothy have this moment of crying for her aunt.
Yeah, I'm going anything from Polar Express. That weird uncanny valley freaks me out.
A lot. My mom would be very ashamed if I had to answer this in front of her because she watched a lot of movies and I was behind the couch. But the first one I think I watched on my own accord was 13 Ghosts.
I was pretty protected from horror movies as a kid, but on Halloween night, all bets were off, and I would just stay up late and watch whatever was playing on TBS or USA or something. And I think I saw Child's Play as like a TV syndicated version of Child's Play. That's the earliest I can remember, and it really unsettled me.
The first scary movie I can remember seeing is an old Disney movie. It's from 1980 called Watcher in the Woods, and it was Disney like dipping its toe into horror for kids. I think my mom rented it on a VHS, and it really scared the crap out of me. My brother and I actually like still talk about it to this day. I recently bought it on DVD.
My favorite screening experience for a horror movie is probably, or just a scary movie, I think Jennifer's Body. Every time I see Jennifer's Body, whether it's like an anniversary or the first time I saw it, it was a very fun theater to be in.
I saw Paranormal Activity with some college friends at a theater in Gainesville, Florida, when like a lot of people were thinking, oh, this movie is a documentary. Like, most people knew that it was a movie, but a lot of dumb people will go like hear word of mouth about a movie. It had a grassroots release schedule the way Blair Witch did, and I thought that was really smart because like there weren't trailers out in the same way that like major franchises do. So we just heard word of mouth about this movie, and it's presented like a documentary, and this is before like found footage other than Blair Witch, where found footage like in a home shot like this. So it really freaked us out, and every time it went to nighttime, there's some guy in the theater who just go, I hate nights! And I thought that was super fun. Horror movies are like the one thing you are kind of okay with people yelling stuff out when you're in a movie theater.
I refuse to watch anything where I'm worried that an animal gets hurt. That's why I can't watch the John Wick series.
13 Ghosts. I will never watch that again. I was too young. I think everyone's first horror movie that scared the shit out of them as a child is the one they don't want to watch again because of reasons. That's traumatic. Anytime I see the Jackal, I'm so scared. Someone dressed up as the Jackal, side note, someone dressed up as the Jackal at San Diego Comic-Con, and I took a picture with them, and it was the hardest photo I've ever taken in my life.
I haven't seen any of the Terrifier movies, but from what I've been told, there is one of the Terrifier movies where a bunch of kids get killed. And I don't know, I'm such a wuss now that I've gotten older and I have a kid of my own. I don't want to see extreme body horror and violence inflicted on kids. I can't watch it.
My horror hot take is that practical effects are superior to CGI effects, and we need to get back to them because there's something just so weird and unsettling about a practical effect, whether it's like the original Chucky doll or whatever, but there's something like visceral when you can see it and you know the actors are actually experiencing it versus like, ooh, we'll add it in post. I just think practical effects are superior.
I think my horror hot take, which might piss off some people, Hereditary was okay. Midsommar was also okay. I had fun watching these movies, but they are okay, you guys.
Every good director should have a horror movie on their resume. Like, I think all the best directors have done horror somewhere in their career, or something that you could kind of categorize as a type of horror. I just think like either that or animation. I think you have to have one of the two in your background just to understand the way editing works and the way to raise tension. I guess there are plenty of successful directors who haven't really done horror, but I think my favorite directors, even the ones who don't do horror, like Steven Spielberg, has a background in horror. James Gunn was a horror director, and I just think like the best ones know the dynamics and the texture of horror.
My favorite horror theory, and this is a theory that I'm sure other people have come up with, I feel like I've made it up, is that I think that Mr. Tumnus and the fauna from Pan's Labyrinth are actually distant cousins. I think they're in the same family. As you can see that they're both fawns. I think they're related in some way. We just get the mythical one from literally The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and another mythical one from Spanish history.
Please subscribe to The Witching Hour.
We will be officially launching on October 1st and sharing
weekly horror movie video essays every Wednesday.